is Vafa here. Wanted to do a review for my new guitar. This is the Epiphone SG Prophecy. So I went ahead and replaced my EC1000 Duncan with this guitar. Short version, ultimately that guitar wasn't right for me. It was very uncomfortable for me to play, so I replaced it with this, and I'm very happy with it. I can talk more about that at the end of the video, but I'll skip that for now. Basically, this is the Prophecy line of guitars. This is new for 2020 for Epiphone. Basically, it's a line of guitars that are supposed to be modern and a lot of really great new features. So yeah, it's a really great guitar. Basically, the Prophecy line, they all have the same shared set of features. The differences are the body shape. So of course it comes in SG, you can get a Les Paul body shape, you can get a Flying V, or you can get an Extura body shape, which is basically an Explorer crossed with something else called a Futura. Looks like an Explorer. The only differences are that the Les Paul have two separate tone and volume knobs, whereas the rest of them just have one volume, one tone knob. Materials are Mahogany body with a 1/2-inch maple cap, whatever that means. Mahogany neck. It's got a Ebony fretboard. The finish is something called this aged satin gloss. It's not sticky, it's not slow at all, so it's really nice and fast. It's got on the back of the neck here, as you can see, and it's got something called the Graph Tech NuBone nut, whatever that means. So construction-wise, this body is a little bit thicker than my other SG. It's got a little bit pointier horns here as well. It's got a slim taper neck, whatever that means. Basically, I guess the idea is the neck is a little bit fatter here at the lower frets and then thinner as you go higher up. I honestly can't really tell the difference when I play it. It just feels comfortable to me, so I like it. The inlays are this sort of Abalone block thing with like a little triangle that matches the rest of the guitar's finish. Headstock binding and neck binding, and the guitar is set neck. Okay, so hardware, it's just brushed nickel. You do have these Grover locking tuners at the top, which are really nice. So the most interesting thing about these guitars are the pickups. They are Fishman Fluence pickups. Apparently there's some kind of special design ones just for the Epiphone Prophecy line. They have a few different voicings as well. The standard voicing is what they just call their modern voicing. I wasn't planning to get a guitar with active pickups, but I had never tried it before, and I figured why not give it a shot, and I'm pretty happy with it. They have a really good high output, just like you'd expect from any active pickup. When you push-pull the different tone and volume knobs, you get different tones. So for example, if you pull this knob, this is the volume knob, it's single coil voicing. So the single coil voicing is good. It's not the best single coil tone though I've ever heard, but it's good. Better for leads and things like that than clean. And then you have this tone knob. If you push-pull this tone knob, what you get is basically like a passive / PAF vintage voicing. I probably would never use it. I'm not a really big fan of it. I'd rather, I'm playing metal, right? So I don't need any of that sort of extra dynamics or anything like that. Okay, so next let's talk about the quality. So first of all, right out the gate, this guitar is made in China. So I'll just let you decide what that means. I have a bass that's made in China, and it is a great instrument, so I'm not too worried about it just being made in China, but I know some people are really against that. They'll only go for Korean made or American made or whatever. But quality-wise, the guitar has been pretty good. They're all just very minor complaints that I've had. For example, the screws on the truss rod cover are not perfectly aligned, but how often you take off the truss rod cover, it can fix that easily. The knob for the tone knob is not exactly perfectly flush. When you twist it, it kind of spins out of order or off axis, whatever you want to call it. Not a big deal. I'd never use the tone knob anyway. There was some excess dye on the Ebony fretboard. Apparently, these guitar manufacturers nowadays put excess dye on the Ebony fretboard so that when you look at it, it's nice and black. It was making my fingers turn black, so I went ahead and just cleaned that off. That was kind of a pain, but not a big deal. Some of that excess dye did get in the binding, which is like really minor complaint, but it's just kind of an annoyance. Otherwise, the quality is fine. There's no blemishes or nicks or anything on the body or on the neck anywhere. The frets are nice and smooth, there's no sharp edges, so really can't complain. Okay, so next I'll talk a little bit about why I got rid of my EC1000. So first of all, the EC1000 Duncan is a great guitar. It sounded great, played great, really high-end guitar that I would recommend to anyone. You can watch my review on it if you're interested. But what happened was basically I noticed it just was way too uncomfortable for me to play, and it was just something I just didn't want to do anymore. So I kind of came to the realization that I like playing SGs. I should just stick with that. I didn't even know that there was an option to get like a high-end SG with 24 frets and all of the features that I like. And so basically, when I bought the EC, I played it in the guitar store. I was like, oh, this is uncomfortable for me. The guitar kept like kind of sliding over like this. You know, I'm just not a big fan of the body shape. But after maybe 20 minutes or so, I'll get used to it. But then when I bought it, I noticed that if I played it for a couple of hours, you know, doing any recording sessions or anything like that, I noticed that, you know, it started to dig into my ribs really badly, and it really would start to hurt. And because it was kind of a little bit off center, lopsided, my wrist would start to hurt. I had to kind of play it in this awkward body shape. So I slowly just stopped playing that guitar and just went back to my old SG. And I was like, well, what's the point? You know, I just bought this nice new guitar. I'm hardly playing it. So I just figured, you know what, I want to get rid of it. And then I discovered this. It was just, you know, as soon as I picked it up and played it, I realized it was great quality, it sounded great, and it was way more comfortable. So I just said, you know what, this is the right guitar for me. And the EC, you know, it might be the right guitar for other people, it just wasn't right for me. But again, it was a really, really great high-end guitar. But I'm really happy with this. This is basically the guitar I've been waiting for my whole life. It's a great guitar, very comfortable and easy to play. It sounds great. And I really have no complaints. I mean, this one really does, you know, meet all of my needs. So yeah, I really have nothing bad to say about this guitar. The only concern I have is the fact that it's made in China. But like I said, I have a really nice bass that's made in China, and I have no problems with it. And this guitar I haven't had any problems with either. Like I said, the only things I could complain about are really, really minor things. So in that sense, I guess there's no reason to worry that it was made in China. But yeah, it's a great guitar. I really love it. And yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching my review. All right, see ya.